Hello students, today's study will be how to accurately draw using angles and triangulation measuring. And all you'll need for this study is a printed out reference, a pencil, a ruler, and some tape. And what you're going to want to do to start is tape down your printed out reference so that it doesn't move around when measuring. So I'll just tape down my reference with a couple pieces of tape. And what you want to do next is mark all the outer reference points of your reference to construct your outline first. These reference points can be any points you think will help make it easier for you to measure. I'd highly recommend making your reference points in any spots where it looks like a corner or where it looks like two lines meeting at a point. Next, you're going to want to find two main reference points from this reference to help measure and connect the remaining reference points. And for my reference, I'll start with the two I marked at the bottom and I'll draw them out slightly further than the reference. Just like so. Now when you draw out your two main points, it does not matter how far or close they are because using angles and triangulation will make your drawing proportionate to the reference, just bigger or smaller in scale. What we'll do next is measure the height of the reference across the width using the thumb and pencil method, using the tip of the pencil to measure one side of the width and my thumb for the other. And in my case, I'll use my two reference points at the bottom since it's relatively close to the measure of the width. As we can see, the height is slightly longer than halfway across my reference points. And before I mark the height, I'll just slightly sketch a straight edge line for reference. Again, using the thumb and pencil measuring method, I'll mark the height. Once you've done that, I'd recommend just quickly sketching an outline as a rough estimate of where your points will end up being. And after you sketch your outline, you will now begin measuring your two main points of reference. We'll begin by using a straight edge or your ruler to find the angle of these 2 points. First, place your straight edge along the two main points of your reference and then pull it down as stiffly as you can into your drawing, moving as little as possible. I'd recommend doing this a few times for each angle you draw, just to ensure your angle is as accurate as possible. So now that we've successfully drawn our first angle, we can draw the angles and triangulations for the other points. We know this point is on this angle along the straight edge, we just don't know where, assuming so. By using the other main reference point, we'll use its angle to intersect the other angle, giving us our triangulation, or our other point. And students, I recommend really taking your time with these angles and triangulations. It will give you the best finished result, I promise. And throughout, I want you all to think about the hands on a clock when it comes to these angles and the degrees of these angles. This next part is optional, and you can always do this once you have all your points drawn, but as you are going along with marking your points, feel free to erase your original outline and refixing them accordingly to your reference points. And as I am fixing my outline, I'll continue to draw the rest of my points. Once you've drawn all the points and fixed your outline, you can now erase all the lines within the center because you will now begin to draw the details and facial structure using the same method. So just as we did previously, you will mark all the reference points that will help you measure each angle. And using the two main reference points you started with, you can begin drawing those angles and triangulations. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, students, please take your time with drawing these angles and triangulations. Your finished complete outline will be the best guide to fill in whenever you are ready to add values and or fill in however you please. Once you have your reference points drawn, you can begin to draw whatever it may be within your reference, accordingly to your reference points of course. And please, take as much time as you need, students. After you've finished your whole completed outline, it is your decision on whether you'd like to add values and or fill in this completed guided outline, or if you'd like to leave your drawing as is. However, before you do that, don't forget to clean up and erase any obvious reference marks on your drawing. As a teacher, I highly encourage all of you to continue adding to your beautiful drawings. Take it even further. If you'd like to do so and all you have is a pencil around, no worries. I would just recommend grabbing a blender or a Q-tip, which works just as well, and go in and blend your values. And that's about it. You've reached the end of this video and completed your drawing. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you will continue to practice using angles and triangulations more within your art.